So hello everybody, welcome to this new video. Today I just decided to do a Cold and Dark startup tutorial on the Fly Factor A320. Now, a few disclaimers. This tutorial will hopefully work for Tolus and some other planes. It's a bit different, but it should be easy. And also, I'm not a real pilot, so if I do anything wrong, then yeah, this is just to teach new people how to do it, or how I do it. So I'll get in the cockpit quickly. Whoa. Alright, whatever. So here we are in the Edelweiss Fly Factor A320. So before we start up, we need to do a few checks. So we first check that the engine masters and ignition is set to norm and off. Then we check that the wipers are off. This is because if there's any ground crew, like maybe cleaning your windows, if we start up the ground power or if we start up the ground power, it comes with so much force where it can literally break his arm. So they're off. Parking brake, it's set to on. Flaps 0. Spoilers are retracted. Well, they're armed here, so I'm just gonna retract them. Whoa. Alright, let me just quickly do this. They're retracted. Throttle is idle. Weather radar is off. It's set to weather and turbulence, and systems are off. Landing gear lever, it's down. And finally, we check that the batteries are above 25 voltage, which they are. Then we start up the batteries. Wait a few seconds, turn on number 2. So now they're in auto mode, I believe. And then you turn on external power. Alright, it's starting up. So now I'm gonna quickly just add some light. Oh. Okay, and down here. So we're supposed to turn on the lights as they're required. Alright, now we just wait for all the systems to turn on, and then we can continue. Alright, all the systems are on now. We're just gonna turn on some more lights over here. And we won't need these because it's not dark. Just gonna quickly turn on the EFB. So yeah, after this, we test the APU. So, it's successfully tested. Now, just to tell you something, you don't need to hear the alarms and the AP and the ECAM. It doesn't have to show anything. So you only need to check the lights and then it's on. Now, this is when you would turn on your APU, but if you already have ground power, there's no point in wasting fuel on ground. So, yeah. I'm just gonna set the fuel loads quickly. Now, in the Tolus, it's different. But yeah, so 5,917 kilos of fuel. Set. And this will be 8,600. And finally, for passengers, we have 82 passengers on board. Set. Now, just the disclaimer, this is different. It's not going to be the exact same. So, now we go back up here. I'm just looking at the checklist. Air conditioning, we're taking less than 130 passengers, so pack flow can go to off, or sorry, low. And then now we check the ECAM. So this is normal, you can just clear that, but we're gonna recall some of the emergencies or anything from the last flight. Currently it's only TCAS which is not operating, but that's normal because we aren't complete. So now we check the oxygen. If it's 1,000, it's over 1,000 psi. Then we check the hydraulics. We check the hydraulic level, which looks good. Engine oil. It looks good. I think it's supposed to be 9.5, or maybe it was a bit different in the. Maybe I just misheard him in the video I checked. Yeah. And finally, we double check again that the flap lever is at 0. Currently it's not, but that's a flight factor thing. Then we check that the speed brakes are retracted. So I'm just gonna open up flight controls. Yep, they're retracted. And then parking brake lever is confirmed on. And then now we check the pressure of the brakes, which looks very good. So now you don't need to do this in the TOLUS or flight factor, but I like to do the safety checks. So yeah, we're gonna start off over here. We're gonna check that the life vests are here, which they are. Then I'm gonna check the emergency rope if it has a cover on it. If we have some gloves and oxygen masks. So yeah, we're supposed to test them, but we're not gonna do that yet. But that's basically how you test them. So oxygen masks are there, and fire extinguisher is also there. So now we, I believe we gotta check that the rat is in, which it is. You can just do free camera just to show you. Yep, so you can see that the rat is in. And anti-skid, sorry. I'm just gonna test it here. Yep, we got the alarms, and now we turn that back on. Alright, so now we go on with the flows. Now this is supposed to be by heart. You're supposed to remember this, but at first it's fine if you don't. So you gotta turn on crew oxygen supply, ground control. Let's test that. Yep, we hear the beep. Now we can turn on the aiders. Now start over here. Strobe lights, we can set that to auto. Nav and logo to 1. Seatbelt signs on. No smoking to on. Emergency lights to arm. Now we just test the lights. Make sure that they're correct. I just forgot to turn this on. Yep, they are correct. Can set that to dim, and then that's dim. Now we check over here. You can turn these on. And I'm not sure if this does work in the. Yep, it does. So yeah, I guess I can test that. Now we test the engines. Okay, so when we do the test, we make sure that we see the light over here, and then we have the checklist on the ECAM, and then we disengage the alarm, or we just press the alarm. So I'm not gonna turn on fuel pumps because we don't need to waste fuel on the ground. Now we go down here. We just double check everything. This one is optional, you can set it to whatever you prefer. Just make sure that this one is VHF1, VHF2, and VHF3. Now over here, I'm gonna turn on constraints, and we'll set these later after we're done with this. Well, at least that's how I do it. So that's performance data for now, and now we go over here. We first check that that the navigation database is up to date, which it is. Then we go to init. We set our ICAO code for the airport, so we're flying from Orly to Zurich. Just gonna set that to plan so that I can see the flight plan, obviously. Insert that, and we can see the flight plan. IRS init, align ref, confirm align. Winds, let's request the winds. You're supposed to read this. So yeah, those are all the ones that we have. We go back here. Alternative will be Frankfurt. So set that, and we're flying as Edelweiss 521. So if you did the company flight plan, it would automatically set up the cost index and the cruising altitude as well, and also the flight plan. Now I will show you how to file the flight plan yourself, but yeah, I'll just do this first. So our departure route, I'll just load up this so that it will be easier to see. We will 9 Romeo departure runway 25. So we're gonna go to departure 25, and then we go for Bubbly 9 Romeo. So we can see it on the flight plan here. And if you want, you can zoom out a bit so that you can get a better look at it. Now over here, we're taking, let me just show you here. We're taking runway 34, Bravo Lima Mike 2 Golf. And again, 34, Bravo Lima Mike 2 Golf. So I'm gonna set ILS 34, and then Bravo Lima Mike 2 Golf. And I'll take transition via GE pool. Actually, I don't think we need the transition via GE pool, so I'll just change that. Alright, this just happens. I'm just gonna do this, go for something random, and then I'm just gonna select it again. Again, runway 34, ILS 34 to Golf, and then I'll go for no vise. Insert. So here you have the flight plan. Alright, so you just double check it again. Now, alright, I'm gonna show you how to create a flight plan. So let's just say, let's go for Pavit. Alright, so if you're going direct to a waypoint, it should say DCT and then the waypoint. That means direct to a waypoint. Then you're gonna write the waypoint, like let's just say Edgar, if that was the waypoint. We're gonna put that there, and then it won't show up with that. It will just automatically set it for you. And I just made that one up. It's not a real waypoint. Now to add a airway, then it should say something like Uniform Golf 42. Let me just show you here. Uniform Golf 42. And then you go direct to pylon. So I will write Uniform Golf 42. Now it's not supposed to say that, but then I just put it here. It should say insert and erase at the bottom. Then I write the waypoint, which was pylon, and then insert it here. And then I'll just press insert, or if you have more airways, then you can just add them. So yeah. Now we go back to init. We go to this page. Yeah, in the Tolus, you're gonna have to do this yourself. But in the A320, you can just it can just automatically set it for you. So yeah, here's all your information and stuff. Alright, now I go over here. V1134. It's usually the same as rotate. So yeah. We're going to be taking flaps 2 and it'll be down, trim down 0.1. So if you want, you can change this, but this is what they're already gonna. That's what they're gonna do it for. They're gonna do it for you automatically. That's what I was trying to say. Now we're going to progress. Make sure that's 330. And finally, the second flight plan. Now this is where I can show you how to do it. So we're departing 34. Degas 3 Hotel. Degas 3 Hotel. Let me just try to find that. Yep, here. So this is Degas 3 Hotel departure. After Degas, we go direct. We take the airway Zulu 1, and then Sudan. Tango 164. Kovan. Tango 163. And finally Spesa. Alright, so we go over here, insert. Now just double check that the flight plan looks correct. So now we press that, arrival. We're going to be landing 07 right. ILS 07 right. Space at 1 Charlie. Here. We're just going to do a no via, just to keep it simple. So again, we just double check the flight plan just to make sure it looks correct. So here, if you want, you can remove that, but basically it says manual, meaning that you need to go manual, which is why you have the giant line. So yeah. Alright, flight plan is complete. Now I'm just gonna reset my view. Alright. Now, we can see that the IRS is aligned. Now just to make sure, we go into data, and then IRS monitor. That's correct. Next. Next. Alright, so after this, we just gotta. I'm just gonna check the weather. I'm also gonna teach you how to read the METAR if you didn't know that. So elevation to 291 feet, and transition altitude 5,000 feet. I'm just gonna double check that in the performance page. 5,000 feet, that's correct. Then we go to weather. QNH 1012. QNH 1020, sorry. And winds are 320 at 5. Cav okay, meaning ceiling and visibility okay. And temperature is 20, dew point 12. Dew point is when it can become fog and everything. We're gonna check the charts. So I'm just gonna double check where I'm at. We're Papa 1-2. Papa 1-2. So yeah, I'll try to find. Usually this does take a while. So yeah. Papa 1-2, which is that's Papa 1-2. So we're over here, Papa 1-2. We're gonna push back onto. We're gonna be taking. Yeah, we gotta check the runway first. We're taking runway 25. And yeah, so first check where 25 is. You can see it here. 25 is over. That's 24, but yeah, it's the same thing. So that's 24. Now I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna push back like this, facing west. Take this taxi. Actually, no, facing east. Take that taxiway and hold over there. So yeah, now we go to SID. Runway 24. Now Bubli. I believe it was Bubli 9 Romeo. So just gotta find 9 Romeo here. Didn't show 9 Romeo, so I'm just gonna check this one. And okay, so it does take a while. No. Oh, yeah, that was just me being stupid. Alright. So while we wait for that to load, we can start up the APU. First, fuel pumps on, then we turn on master. Now we wait a few seconds. Now we just wait for the flap open message. I just put it. Alright, now the flap is open. We can start up the APU. So I'll monitor that, but since I checked the wrong runway, I'm gonna have to fix it anyway. Bibli 9 Romeo. Here says clear initial 80, flight level 80, 8,000 feet. And then direct Papa Oscar 300. So yeah. So yeah. You're supposed to read that just to get the information. Now I'm gonna check this one, I believe. No, oh, wrong one, sorry. I believe APU is available. If that's green, then it's available. Since I accidentally looked at 25, I'm gonna have to check it again. This is 25. So yeah, we're gonna push back facing west. We're gonna, if I just load up this, we're gonna take Whiskey 3 down to Lima Foxtrot, and then and then Whiskey 4, if that's correct. Let's just see. Oh no, it's not exactly correct. But yeah, basically, you get the idea. So, you can press that, and yeah. Since APU is available, I'm just gonna quickly talk with the ground crew. Okay, I'm back. I apologize. It's just I think I read my charts wrong. But yeah, so we're gonna push back facing south. Take this taxiway all the way across that runway, and then hold over there and take off. Now, what I'd like to do is just to make sure. Yep, that's runway 25. So yeah, we're sure that it's that route. Before I just plan it, I'm just gonna remove these. We don't need them. Now I'm gonna pre-plan it. We're gonna push back facing south like this.
Ground to cockpit. Blazer knowledge. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
I will call you through the menu when you're ready. Alright, so we can do the checklist now. These you don't need to do unless you're new. So before start, fueling, 5,900 kilos, that's checked. Chokes, well first let me just set and make sure that parking brakes are set. Remove those, and traffic cones are removed, APU is started, APU bleed is on, external power is off, doors are closed, and beacon can come on. Now we go to this. I've memorized the pushback and engine start, so I don't need to do that. You can read it for yourself if you want. Better pushback. We can start it up.
To cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Yeah, this will happen after you move it. Sorry about that. So now we just wait for it to connect, and then
Okay. All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
just go back to the cockpit. I'll just double check everything. Those are correct. Okay, so and yep, radios are on. So yeah, we're about to start pushback. I'll just split this to after start for now. It's a nice and early morning departure, as you can see with the time over here.
Tow connected and light have been inserted. Release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Starting pushback and you may start engines.
Just set that to auto. Now, I guess I can start up. We're gonna start up number 2 now. So sometimes you just have to do it again and then it'll work. When you see this turn into gray, this rectangle, then that means it's turning on, and then you'll see everything else is rising. So you gotta monitor the PSI, the oil quantity, EGT, and N1. Okay, I'll just go back to flight summary. Engine number 2 is available. We'll wait with engine number 1 for now. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait until pushback finishes, and then I'm gonna... Actually, no, let's just turn it on for now. Alright, it's in gray. Everything, it's rising, looking good.
acceleration complete. Set parking brake.
Yeah, so during the starting engine number 1, you might hear some noises. Alright, Avail, we can go ignition norm. We're gonna do the after start checklist, wing and engine and wing anti-ice as required, they can stay off. APU bleed off, APU master off, pitch trim, I don't know how to set it, oh, now it works. Alright, so, yeah, it's gonna be down 0.1. So, yeah. Whoa, that's way too much. Yeah, about that much. Yeah, that's good. Okay, pitch trim is set. Engine mode selector norm. Spoilers, let's arm them. Flaps, let's set flaps too. Now I believe you don't have to check the flaps if they go to full, if they can go to 2, but I'm not sure. Rudder trim is 0. Flight controls, we're gonna check that right now actually. We're gonna wait for the hand signals first. I've got the hand signals. I usually like to do the flight control test during taxi. So yeah, might as well just start it now. Full left, full right, neutral. Full up, full down, neutral. Full left, full right, neutral. Now in the real aircraft, you can press this so that it won't turn on the ground. But I couldn't figure out how to do it, so yeah. Flight controls I checked. Let's check the doors actually. Doors. Yep, those are all shut. ECAM status. Hand signals are received. I'm gonna set it to that now. Auto brakes max. And yeah, these ones I can't figure out how to do them properly. So yeah. So now we just start our return over here. And we're gonna taxi all the way to runway 25. Now, during the taxi time, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do. Well, first, let me just pull up the taxi checklist. Taxi clearance, we don't need that. Auto brakes are, parking brakes are released. Auto brakes are to max. Takeout configuration. Press and taxi lights can come on. Actually, I forgot. So, I'm gonna tell you what to do during the takeoff or while taxiing. So yeah. Well, just to make sure first that I'm on the correct taxiway. Yep. So on takeoff, what you're first what you're gonna do is if you set flex, then you're supposed to go to flex. Set your power to flex. I'll load this up for now. When you're taking off, it should when you go, let's say toga, it should say men toga SRS runway auto thrust A/T HR in blue, and there should be in boxes. So what you're gonna say is Mantoga SRS runway, and thrust set auto thrust blue. Or you could say auto thrust blue and thrust set. It doesn't really matter. Right, that's what I think. So after you see that the indicated airspeed is rising, you don't have to do this. I think this is more on GA aircraft, but I like to say airspeed alive. So yeah, and at the same time, you're supposed to apply. I don't think it has to be full down pressure. Just ignore those cars. I don't think it has to be full down, but it can go like this much. So yeah, once you hit 100 knots, it's supposed to go back to normal. When you hit V1, that means you can't abort the takeoff at all. You're gonna take your hands off the thrust levers, and then when you hit rotate speed, you're not gonna go full up like this. you can risk a tail strike. What I would recommend is going up to like 5 or 7 degrees. So when you're airborne, you should see this box disappear. And then then you check if you're climbing, you should see this arrow pointing, this line pointing up, and that's when you know that you're climbing. Then you're gonna say positive rate or positive climb, gear up. Now, transition altitude is the altitude which you set your barrel to standard. Now, just not a disclaimer, just a warning. In the US, you use inches of mercury, which is basically altimeter. But in Europe and some other continents, you use hectopascals. They're basically the same thing, except you have to switch them every time, as you can see here. So yeah, that's basically how you do it. I'm just gonna turn on strobe lights and landing lights. Now when you line up, you have to turn on your landing lights, runway turn off lights, and then set taxi light to take off lights.
Approaching 02.
Yeah, and just to make sure, you should hear the RAS if you're using the flight factor. And also, you're supposed to set this to TARA. You'll see that in the before takeoff checklist. So I like to do the before takeoff checklist before holding short. So yeah. And I don't want to do it like over here. I don't want to turn on TARA over here, because if I was on VASM, it would disturb other traffic, their TCAS system. And I know that because I've done that on the ground. It disturbed other planes' TCAS, and it disturbed mine as well. So yeah. Now one check I forgot to do. Whoa, no! Oh my goodness! Sorry about this. This is an accident. One check I forgot to do is just to check the oxygen mask. So we're gonna do it on the first officer's side as well. Sorry about that, I accidentally opened up the window. Oh yeah, forgot to turn this off, sorry. Gonna do the before takeoff checklist, TCAS, TARA, but we're not gonna do that yet. Engine mode selector, they'll stay at norm. Brake temperature, it's supposed to be below 150, so let's just check the wheels. They are 80. Now if it was above 150, you're supposed to turn on brake fan and delay the takeoff until they're cooled up. So then brake fan sliding table is stowed. Take off and line up clearance, we don't need that. And exterior lights on. Set that to have to take off for now. So, about to line up. And yeah, I hope that I've said everything that I needed to. But if I forget anything, then you'll see me. Do it, cause yeah. So about to line up. I guess I can turn on TARA for now. Can turn all of these on. Now I never got the lights to work in the flight factor, so that's why I don't really fly it at night.
25.
So that's confirmed 25 because yeah, we're taking off 25. I did forget to do the briefing, so I'm just gonna quickly do it now. So data, it's checked. Orly to Zurich, alternative Frankfurt, AWS 521, cost next 23, flight level 330. Climb initially 80, then climbing to flight level to cruising altitude. 134, 138, flaps 2, down 01. Progress, accuracy is high, 330, and yeah. Alright, so, just gonna double check everything. Now, just a quick thing I'm gonna say. Chrono, you might be wondering why do I need it? Well, first off, you'll see the time you have flown. Second, it's because the engines can only run at full power for 5 minutes on the A320. So, yeah, it's good to have it just in case you've gone over that. So, chrono, and for the first officer as well. So some people set it at half, some people set it at 40% N1. You can see it here. I might as well just keep it on these three. Just gonna quickly set this up, hope you don't mind. Alright. Mantoga SRS runway, thrust set, auto thrust blue. Airspeed alive. $100. V1, rotate and V2. Now you gotta follow the flight director. Positive climb, gear up. Flaps 1, speed check flaps 1. So right now I want to wait until the speed changes. Alright. Thrust, climb, climb. Now if you want you can fly manually for a bit, but I'll turn on the autopilot after I go above slant speed. Alright, flap 0, speed check flap 0, autopilot 1 on. Okay, so now we just monitor the climb. Can turn these off. Now once we're at 5,000 feet, I'll wait until I'll hover over it. I will hover over this so that the arrow is pointing down, and then I'm gonna left click it, and that will set it to standard. Basically, it means QNH 1013, but or also just flash a lot. Okay, standard. And yeah, so right now I should be following the flight director. Spoilers, I guess I can disarm them. Engine mode selector norm, taxi lights off, wing and anti-ice as required, which is off, pack 1 and 2 on. So we're gonna do this checklist once we're at 10,000 feet, or fly level 100. I'm just gonna quickly check Volanta. Yeah. So here it is, Volanta. This is my plane right now. So I'm also gonna teach you how to go do a direct. In the briefing I said I'm immediately gonna climb to 330 after thrust climb. I'm gonna teach you how to do a direct. So on Unicom I don't think you're allowed to decide if you want to do a direct or not. But yeah, since it's offline I can just show you. Let's say HEC says Edelweiss 521, go direct Batag. Then I would go into, then I'll say Edelweiss 521, going direct Batag, which is this one. I'll go to DIR, and then I'll look for Batag, and then insert that. So right now it should start turning towards Batag. Alright, thrust climb, and Yep, we're 10,000 feet. We can turn off landing lights. We can perform this checklist. Seatbelt sign as required. Pressurization. Let's just check the pressure quickly. Pressure, cabin altitude. So usually after 10,000 feet, it'll start speeding up to a high speed, obviously. And after turn, it should lower its angle of attack. So then we can hopefully turn off the seatbelt sign. Which is why if you're in a real aircraft, it only takes like 5 minutes to even get to cruising altitude. Well, it feels like cruising altitude, but yeah. So you can turn on weather radar. I didn't do that earlier, but I mean I checked the weather earlier. There shouldn't be much weather we have to worry about. So yeah. So that concludes this tutorial video. Part 2 will be out the same day. So yeah. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.